I cannot just sit here and act normal today. It's October 1st, so welcome girls, gays, theys, the straight men who wish I was their girlfriend. Happy October, my beloveds. I'm in a really celebratory mood. Okay, it's time for another October Watchlist challenge. This is my third year in a row doing it. Can you even believe? If you're new here, yes, I did this in 2023 and 2024. We are keeping the tradition going. I talk about all things horror on this channel though. Okay, we got movie reviews, we got rankings, we got deep dives, we've got reaction content. There's all types of stuff to love on this channel. So if you want to stick around in my spooky cult, then click subscribe. I am the leader here. I am a dictator. I am the Antichrist, Satan's favorite daughter. But most of you know me as Haunted Hippie. Enchanté. If you're cool with that, also click the like button and the notification bell. That way you never miss the next video. So, the challenge today. I try to make mine really unique. I do have some kind of lame, more generic categories just so it's a little bit easier for you guys to choose something, and some days you have a little bit more leeway to watch what you want. But for the third year in a row, I'm pretty proud of myself for the unique categories that I've come up with, so let's dive right in. On day one, we are keeping in theme with the last 2 years, alright, but I changed it up just a little bit. I like day one to feel like a fall horror movie or a back to school kind of horror movie because it's just the time of year, but this year on day one, I want you to watch a movie with a library scene. The one that comes to mind immediately for me is The Faculty, and I'm so overdue for a rewatch. I think that I might have even put it on my list for last year, but I flop so hard at doing my own challenge. I've seen some of you guys on Letterboxd that kill it and you actually watch every movie every single day. Because this is my job, I have to be more on top of it with like new releases and stuff like that. So maybe this year I'll finally get to The Faculty. Another great one though, I would say It, either the original miniseries or the new one. Those are the two most obvious ones to me. If you guys can let me know any other horror movies with iconic library scenes, please put them in the comments, because I would like to have a better one for my own list. Number two, this one is a really easy category, okay? On day two, I want you to watch a movie with a bad bitch. This is pretty broad, but for me, when I think of like a horror baddie, I want to watch Elvira. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting at, but if you feel so inclined, maybe choose a movie with one of your favorite final girls or something. But I would like bad to have kind of the double meaning of she's a baddie, but she's also kinda bad. Elvira definitely gets up to some antics, you know what I mean? You could watch an Addams Family movie, Morticia, come on now. We're kicking it off pretty easy with the first couple days of the month, but then on day three, I need you to reflect. I need you to look within. I need you to dig a little bit deep. Because on day three, I want you to watch a movie that contains your deepest fear. What is my deepest fear? Well, thanks for asking. I think for most of my life, it was my parents dying, which that's still terrifying. My parents are like in their mid-60s, and so, it's no fun watching them age. But now I would say that my new deepest fear that's been unlocked lately is losing my partner, my life partner. We've only had an apartment together for a couple of months, but already I just feel like I'm building my life with this person. And the fact that any day he could just get into a car crash and I lost a nail. What? That's poorly timed. I don't even know where it is. Did I have it on at the beginning? That's so embarrassing. Whatever, I'm gonna keep going. Watch, Scott's gonna like find it in the fridge or something. Speak of the devil. As I was saying, he could just, get in a car crash any day and die. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So that's my current biggest fear. I think for me, the movie on the list would be The Babadook. I'm definitely due for a rewatch on that one. That movie, I feel like perfectly embodies my absolute worst fear. Another one of my big fears that manifests in my dreams is dirty bathrooms, but I'm not really in the mood for like the TCM remake, Number four, I have a movie that a germaphobe would turn off. This one was inspired by my recurring nightmare about dirty bathrooms. I still get it from time to time. I am still not past that phase of my life. I've talked about it so much on this channel if you're new here, but the recurring nightmare is just that. I could be anywhere. I have had it at an amusement park a couple of times. I have had it where I'm in a baseball stadium. I've had it where I'm in like my old high school gym. What the fuck? Tiny little flying bug just came up out of nowhere. What is going on today? I have it in a lot of different locations, but once I get into the bathroom in my dream, it's always the same. I mean, it'll actually like look different, but the basic premise is the bathroom filthy. And then there's either like no stalls, so there's just like, people just on toilets like at different levels, just everywhere, just out in the open. Or there are stall walls there, but like there's too much space on the bottom, or they're really low. So just disgusting, no privacy. That's my nightmare. The first movie that comes to my mind is Saw. the original Saw in that dirty ass bathroom. But this one, you could be a little bit tricky. It could be a little bit broad. A lot of horror movies would not be good for germaphobes, but I think that you know kind of what I'm putting down here. You could also go with like the TCM remake for sure. There's a dirty bathroom in that movie. I know my mind just keeps going to bathroom. There's probably good horror movies with like really dirty kitchens, the original TCM with the table, just like something gross. I usually have something on the list for gorehounds, and I didn't really this year. And I was like, what could I put in place of that? This is another one where I'd be super curious what your pick would be. I am personally going to be putting my list on Letterboxd and like with all the rules, so it's easy to find. If you make your own list, tag me in it or whatever. Oh, especially if you watch one of my movies on day 5. On day 5, I want you to watch 3 short horror films. I think that the art of the short film is a little bit overlooked just by general audiences, so I want to try to encourage you guys to watch more of them. I have 2 on this very channel. There's Somnum and Liked. There's the really popular horror short channel called Alter. There's a lot of really good stuff on there. Or maybe you've been putting off diving deeper into some of your favorite directors' catalogs. Maybe you've been putting off watching Ari Aster's The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. You could finally watch that one, though I don't really recommend it. You could watch the original short film of Saw if you've never seen that. I don't really know how this could be possible, but maybe you haven't seen the original short of Lights Out by David F. Sandberg. So you can either catch up on your horror history, or you could find a lesser known horror director and just check out their stuff. There's thousands on YouTube, so go nuts. I'll be keeping an eye out on your lists if you do this challenge, because I'm always trying to find new directors to like be keeping my eyes on. Now the next category is someone we have all had our eyes on already. I always like to include popular horror directors and give them a day during this watch list challenge. So this year on the 6th, I want you to watch a James Wan horror movie. I guess it doesn't have to be a horror movie. Like maybe you need to do a little bit more homework and catch up on more of his stuff. Maybe you haven't seen Aquaman or something. I would recommend checking out Death Sentence. It's not a great movie, but like kind of an overlooked thriller, and certainly overlooked in his filmography. But for me personally, I think that I am probably gonna try once again to watch Dead Silence. It would be my 3rd or 4th viewing, and yeah, I've watched it a handful of times and I just don't like it, but so many people do. It's not like it's rated well on Letterboxd or anything, but the people that I follow, it's got its cult following. That's my point. I follow people that give it like 4.5, 5 stars, and I'm like, what? Let me hop on the hype train. I'm trying to party with you guys. So I'm gonna try that one again personally. On day number 7, I want you to watch a movie with a psychopath. You could watch an old favorite like The Silence of the Lambs. You could try to find something a little bit more obscure. Myself, I'm gonna be catching up on something that it's a little bit embarrassing that I've never seen before, and that would be No Country for Old Men. For whatever reason, I've seen Drive Away Dolls, I've seen Honey Don't. Like, why am I catching up on new mediocre Ethan Coen, but I've not watched the most iconic Coen brothers movie? That's my choice also because I think that I saw some reel or something where like a psychologist or somebody, I don't know, had rated the best depictions of antisocial personality disorder or psychopaths, and I think that this one might have been rated number 1. I can't really remember, but it was in the top 10. Anywho, on to number 8. On day 8, I want you to watch a movie based on true events. Maybe you're new to the Conjuring franchise because the new one just came out and you want to watch more of the movies. Maybe you want to watch something unbearably shitty like An American Haunting. Or I just recently discovered, well, I didn't discover it, I knew it existed, I just finally watched it for the first time. But my choice for you would be The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I don't like exorcism movies, but the performance in that is so phenomenal. And also, I really love courtroom dramas. Is it the most accurate portrayal? I don't know. I don't care. Neither is The Conjuring. Like, give me a break. Moving on, day number 9. I want you to watch an anime horror movie. My recommendation for you would be Akira because it is one of the most iconic anime horror films ever made. There also is Perfect Blue, of course. I actually have yet to do my research on this one. I have not nailed down the movie that I want to watch, so if you have good recommendations, please let me know, because this is a major blind spot for me. I am not really the person to be giving out these recommendations because I've only seen like 2 of the super iconic ones, you know? I don't know where to begin, so help a girl out. But if you've really seriously never seen one, then you gotta lay the groundwork, okay? You gotta watch Perfect Blue, Akira. On day number 10, this one is to pay you guys back for what I did to you last year, okay? Last year I said that I wanted you guys to watch a shitty remake because I have a lot of love for a lot of shitty remakes. This year I want you to watch a fire remake, okay? You're welcome. And my recommendation, one of the best remakes ever done, hands down, is The Crazies. I want to say it came out in 2010. It has Daniel Panabaker in it, and Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, that beautiful man. So good. There's a lot of overlap this year, actually, because on that day, you could also watch TCM, you could watch It. Another one of my favorite remakes is the Friday the 13th one. On day number 11, I want you to watch a horror movie that has a character that you wish was your best friend. I bet that a lot of you just went, oh, Tatum, oh, Scream, Tatum. And to be honest, not me. Hot take, I don't think that Tatum and I would really get along, but I have a really strong personality, and she's a really strong personality, and I just think that we would clash. Sydney was not a strong personality. She was very much like an everyman. She was very soft until everyone around her got murdered, and then she like developed a personality. For me, it's just not Tatum. I thought a little bit about like the original Halloween, and I don't know that I would really get along with Annie either, even though I think she's a really, really good friend for Laurie, because she kind of, you know, would force Laurie to put herself out there a little bit, and Laurie needs that nudge. I don't know, that friend group, like that's just probably not who I would hang out with either. The one that I ended up landing on actually was Halloween 2018. The trio of Allison, Vicky, and Dave I would hang out with. Particularly Vicky, like justice for my girl Vicky. I love her and Dave so much. They're just so mellow. I feel like they're a good representation of young people, at least like for me when I was in college. I felt very much seen and represented. They didn't feel like overwritten, goofy, like out of touch old people had written them or anything. They felt authentic. Aside from the fact that she called Laurie grandmother, I don't know anybody who calls their grandma grandmother. Now I wouldn't want to hang out with Cameron, but that's kind of neither here nor there. I'm in it for Vicky. Number 12. On day 12, I want you to watch a movie with good dance moves. The movie that I think would most often come to mind is Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. Crispin Glover. Come on now. But if you want to go a little bit more out of the box, you could try like almost any 80s college movie. Actually, a lot of 80s movies in general because of like the MTV influence. Like Return of the Living Dead would be a good one because there's like a graveyard party scene. I think also one of my favorites is Rush Week. That one it's a little sleazy, so not for everybody, but it's a really fun whodunit. It's super underrated. And there's like a frat scene and the Dickies are performing Booby Trap in it. As long as I'm not mixing this up with another movie, I don't think I am, but an 80s frat party scene, there's some fun dancing. Just, I don't know, get stoked. Find a movie with good vibes, people dancing. On the 13th of October, lucky 13, the past 2 years in a row, I think that I have placed a Friday the 13th movie there, so I decided to change it up a little bit. I hope you don't mind. I want you to watch a movie with a scary smile, and try to branch out from the actual smile movies unless you haven't seen them yet. If you're a new horror fan and you're just diving in, then Smile is a good place to start. Definitely fill that in. But if not, try to be a little bit more creative. One of my favorite smiles in all of horror history, Evil Dead Rise. Yup, Miss Alyssa. My favorite Deadite of all time. One of the best smiles, just period. And there's multiple. I think she smiles at multiple points during the movie in multiple uniquely fucked up ways. Love that woman. Again, this is one where you can cut really deep and let me know in the comments below what your pick is, because I'm curious to see if anyone like truly reaches into the depths and makes me go, oh yeah. On October 14th, I want you to watch a David Cronenberg film. These days are great because again, if you're a newbie, oh, watch The Fly. Of course, fill that in. But if you're a bigger horror fan, then I'm sure that there is a David Cronenberg movie that you haven't seen. It's rare that I come across someone that's like, I've seen his whole filmography. For me, I've never seen The Brood. I think that I want to start with that one. I say start with as if I would have time for a double feature. I mean, maybe. If you have time for a double feature, then I would recommend also checking out one of Brandon Cronenberg's films as well. And I would personally probably start with Possessor, but Infinity Pool is worth checking out. Antiviral is decent. You've got good choices on the 14th. On the 15th, let's expand our culture. Check out a J-horror movie that you've never seen. I know that a lot of you have probably seen Ring You. The second tier of the iceberg, maybe you've seen Battle Royale, Audition, Dark Water, Pulse. One that probably is in the second tier, but I haven't seen is Cure. So that's what's on my list. I actually have so much yet to explore, but that one's rated really well. And if you love cinema, okay, if you're a filmmaker in any sense of the word, if you're in the industry, even if not, and you just love movies about making movies, One Cut of the Dead. Please God, check it out. Moving on though, to day 16, I want you to watch a horror movie from the 1930s. That pre-code weird shit. Or if you haven't caught up on a lot of the Universal Classic Monster movies, that's a great place to start. I love, for example, The Invisible Man, 1933. The Mystery of the Wax Museum, fantastic, so colorful. I guess there probably is the black and white version of that one as well, but I love the colors in the colored version. If you've never seen the original Dracula or the original Frankenstein, Frankenstein, you gotta get on that. That's what day 16 is for. On day number 17, you might have to look a little bit harder for this one. Actually, not really. There are a good amount of movies in this category. I want you to watch a movie with a helpful ghost. What do we have? We have Casper, we have The Black Phone, we have Haunter. Oop, okay, I just spoiled one of my next ones. You have plenty of opportunity with the prior challenges to watch actual scary ghost movies, so that's a day to maybe take a little breather. The Black Phone is really heavy though. The Black Phone would not be taking a breather, and maybe you don't want to take a breather. I had something just a little bit more light in mind. Seriously, what happened to my pinky nail? I think that there are a couple of Del Toro films you could watch, probably. He loves a helpful ghost. Maybe he's a director you need to catch up on too. And he is not on the challenge list this year, so maybe that'd be a good direction to take. On day number 18, I want you to watch a movie where the kids aren't all right. You guys know that movie called The Kids Are All Right? You know, it's a play on that. And also it's a little bit of a play on last year, because I think it was last year. I wanted you guys to watch a movie where mom and dad are acting funny. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys watched The Shining, or maybe took my recommendation of Mom and Dad. This year we're doing the opposite. Something is wrong with the children. That's actually, wait, that's a name of a movie that has come out in the last couple years. I don't think I've seen it though. So maybe you could check out that one. Let me know if it's any good. I want to say there's a movie that's actually just called The Children that takes place in winter time. I don't really remember it being good, so maybe not that one. I was thinking something a little bit more along the lines of The Omen. Get you a little Damien action or something. A really, really tough watch, but a good recommendation for this day would also be Eden Lake. That movie is all about chaps, okay? Evil British teenagers. It's horrible. It's so horrible. I think I would prefer for you to watch something where it's not the most obvious choice. I guess you could also take that in a more literal sense. You could watch like Insidious, because obviously Dalton, he is lost out in the further. He's not all right. I more meant like evil children, but do with that what you will. Day number 19. I'm excited for this one. Once again, I really want to hear from you. This kind of thing helps me to get to know you a little bit better. A 2 a.m. at a sleepover type horror movie. That is day 19. For me, my choice would be Haunter. I just mentioned it. Such a weird film that stars Abigail Breslin, of all people, and it's a reverse haunting type movie. It's very, very weird. I remember watching it at age like 14 or 15 and showing it to a bunch of people. Like, I thought that it was really good. And around that same age, that same era, I would put in like Shrooms. That was another one that I watched with friends. All Cheerleaders Must Die. I remember watching that at a friend's 14th birthday party very late at night, and it just low budget, super weird. I want you to dig deep. Look in those memories. What's one of those random movies you found late at night with friends that, you know, it wasn't great and it kind of made you feel weird, but it stuck with you? That's what I want you to watch on day 19. Feed that inner child. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. We have a childhood, then we spend the rest of our life unpacking it. So why not relive a little bit of it? On day number 20, this one is really, really hard for me. And I don't mean it's that hard to find a movie. I mean that this is just something that really gives me the ick. I want you to watch a horror movie with hand trauma. And I would point you in the direction of Mike Flanagan. 2 movies at the top of mind, okay? Hush, the scene with the door, yes, and Gerald's Game. That woman is locked up for the majority of the movie, and then, ooh, hand trauma is one of those things that bothers me so damn bad. I can watch Art the Clown hack somebody up with all types of weapons, whatever, and I'm like, dee dee dee. I can watch him cut somebody in half from their vagina. But if I see somebody break their finger, no. The thing is, like, no. I just can feel it so much whenever something happens to somebody's hand in a movie. I feel like there are a lot of horror movies where people get like stabbed through the hand. That happens quite frequently. You could also probably find that in like an action movie or something. There are certainly movies in the Halloween franchise where we get some hand trauma, so you've got a lot to work with. Day number 21. I want you to watch a claustrophobic horror movie. And to me, the top of the line, no questions asked, the best of the best would be The Descent. That's just because that's the best movie. If I were talking about actually the most claustrophobic, I would probably say As Above, So Below. Though I do know that having a fear of elevators is super, super common, so if that's the case for you, maybe watch Devil. And I'm sure that there are a lot that I'm not thinking of, but maybe you guys can help me out with that in the comments down below. On day number 22, I want you to find a horror movie with no survivors. I'll give you a hint, okay? Think prequel. maybe. Or perhaps something French. Wink, wink, wink. This one's so hard. Like, it would probably have to be a movie that you've already seen or a movie that you've had spoiled, because how would you know that? Oh, another hint, one of the movies that I've already mentioned today. Not one of my picks, but another one that I threw out today. Those movies exist, all right? Okay, there was a recent American remake of something. Think of the original. I'm trying to be vague, but that probably does spoil it a bit. It's hard. It's hard to recommend a thing like that, but hopefully you have at least one of those movies up your sleeve. Now, I am going to finish this bottle of wine. Yay! I mean, it's not wine, it's blood. On day 23, we have something really, really broad. I want you to watch a horror movie with your favorite trope, and I would maybe urge you not to watch something like with, oh, the final girl, even though you find that in almost any horror movie. That's, you know, maybe look up all the common horror tropes and go, oh, I don't know if I really recognize this as a trope, but I really enjoy that. Like for me, I was looking up a list and I saw one called Nature's Revenge, and I thought, oh my god, The Birds, because I love eco horror, okay? Like think The Ruins. And another one that I love because it is so bad. Like there are some tropes that are so bad that they're bad, like oh my god, your cell phone doesn't work. Hoop deep hoopla. One that I love, everyone's splitting up, okay? And I will watch a Scooby-Doo movie, that's fine. I will take that one by myself on an island, that's okay. You don't have to like it. I sometimes just really, really enjoy bad, corny horror movie writing. It's really comforting. There is a lot of value in that, okay? There's a reason why it became such a trope. So you could do either. You could find kind of a lesser known trope and watch something new within that, or you could watch something really basic and comforting in one of your faves. On the 24th of October, I want you to watch a horror movie with a banging soundtrack. Top of mind, Bride of Chucky. Most recently, I would think Final Destination Bloodlines. Almost any Rob Zombie horror movie. I also think of like early 2000s and punk, and oh, maybe I would watch like Blair Witch, The Book of Shadows. I think that Bride of Chucky would come out on top, but Final Destination Bloodlines might be right up there with it. The music choices are obviously like completely different, so I don't think I could stack one on top of the other. On day 25, we are getting into something interesting. I want you to watch a movie from the Hellraiser franchise. And if you've never seen Hellraiser, oh my god, I'm just gonna clutch my upside down cross really quick. Absolutely watch the original. But if you're like me and you've only seen the first movie, the second movie, and the reboot from 2022, I need to catch up. Like I finally need to just get into that franchise, but I'm so bad when I don't have the physical media of it, and those are kind of hard to find. So track down what you can, and you and me both, like let's start doing our Hellraiser homework, okay? I know that there are a lot of bad movies in that franchise, so if you don't want to watch one of the more obscure ones, maybe finally check out the reboot if you haven't. The second movie I remember being pretty good, so if you haven't seen the sequel, then check out that one. In years past, I've obviously had like, you know, a movie from the Halloween franchise, Friday the 13th, Child's Play. This year I was like, no, I'm gonna do something weirder. Hope you're good with that. Moving on, day 26, I want you to watch a holiday horror movie. Now, of course, you can watch a horror movie set on Halloween. You can watch something from the Halloween franchise. My recommendation to you, because I think that this is one of my all-time favorite holiday horror movies, My Bloody Valentine. I know it's not Valentine's Day. Who cares? Who cares? Let's throw a little pink into our October aesthetic. Of course, you could also watch a Friday the 13th horror movie. We consider that a national holiday on this channel. April Fool's Day is a really good underrated one. Valentine from 2001. There's a lot. You'll have no problem. Day number 27. Are you ready to clutch your pearls? I want you to watch a horror movie with sex in it. I do not like the current trends of today's youth being like, oh my god, that sex scene was so unnecessary. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm with you when it comes to like really gross objectification, when it comes to like unnecessary rape scenes. The most tasteful depiction of sexual assault that I've seen that I think takes it right up to the line and even a little bit past it, but I think like actually quite tastefully and necessarily, is Coralie Fargeau's Revenge. I'm not telling you to watch a rape movie though. That's not what I'm just saying. I'm trying to kind of like lay out the parameters and explain what exactly I'm complaining about and how I define an unnecessary sex scene. Because I see too much of it. I see too much of it. And people complaining that like, oh my god, the plot came to a halt so that they could have sex. Does anybody care about chemistry anymore? I personally want to finally watch Society, and that one is gonna be pretty intense. Like I know a little bit about it, and I know that it's really weird, and if you're a beginner with the horror genre, don't watch Society. Watch almost any mid-80s slasher, okay? I just think I'm ready. I think in my soul and in my spirit, I've known that I've been ready for for society for a while, and I just need to finally watch it. On the 28th of October, I want you to watch a horror movie from the 1970s. This is an era that I don't think is one of the strongest, but certainly some of the most popular trends were established. It still is one of the most important decades for horror, so I want to find something a little bit more obscure that I haven't seen. The place that I would tell you to start in 1970s, well, obviously, like, there's Halloween, and of course Black Christmas. That's actually like the best holiday horror movie ever made. But the best from the 70s, in my opinion, one of my all-time favorites, The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man, if you're a returning cult member, you knew that, of course. I need to find something a little bit more obscure. I haven't landed on it yet. I might do a Giallo. I think that that's probably the direction I'm gonna go. On the 29th, because we are getting closer to All Hallows Eve, I want you to watch a horror movie with the devil. This one's kind of tough for me because I don't really want to watch a possession movie, even though I did really like Exorcism of Emily Rose, but I don't even really like the original Conjuring that much for that reason. And Conjuring the Devil made me do it, forget it. It's a little tough for me to find a movie with the devil that I do like. I think The First Omen could certainly count, just because I want it to count. Devil counts because of, kind of. I need some recommendations with this one, to be so honest with you, because I don't really recommend House of the Devil. I think that movie is like sinfully boring, but it has perfectly recreated 70s vibes, so I do recommend it for that, and maybe you'll like it more than me. Give me some recommendations, absolutely. I hope you've been writing all this down. I hope that you've remembered each one that I want a recommendation for. Okay, on the 30th, on the night before Halloween, I want you to watch a horror movie with a black cat. Or it doesn't have to be a horror movie. Like, for me, I'll be in the mood for Hocus Pocus, personally. You could watch Coraline, of course. I'm sure there's more. Maybe you could also watch a TV show. You could watch a little Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You could watch The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, because, you know, Salem. Is there a black cat in Practical Magic? I don't remember. Do they have a cat? I'm so due a rewatch on that one. And if you want to stretch the rules a little bit and just watch a good horror movie with a cat in it, I'll allow that too. Because there are some witch movies where she has her familiar and stuff. In Bell, Book, and Candle, I think that she does have a black cat though. But whatever you want, if there's a cat there, I'll allow it. Just because I think that it's good luck if a black cat crosses your path on the eve of Halloween. On the 31st, I gotta stay true. Watch a movie that takes place on Halloween. I can't do anything different. That's always gonna be what I end on. There's nothing better to watch on Halloween night than a movie that takes place on Halloween. You cannot begrudge me that. I'll probably be watching John Carpenter's Halloween, or maybe Halloween Kills. I don't know. Depends how thoroughly I am getting through my rewatch of the franchise, because that really is the only horror franchise that, without fail, I watch almost the entirety of every single year. Last year, did a full rewatch. This year, planning the same thing. I've probably already started, honestly. If you don't follow me on Letterboxd, go check it out, because also this list will be there, like, written out for you, and I will have like all my recommendations in that list as well. So I hope that you enjoyed Halloween 2025. What's your costume gonna be? What are your plans? What are you most excited for this spooky season? I'm so happy. I'm so happy for obvious reasons. And I can't wait. Also the content that I have in store for you. It's gonna be a good month. But if you simply can't wait, there is almost 6 years worth of content to binge on this channel. So many deep dives, so much content centering the Halloween franchise, so many original versus remake comparisons. You can go back in the catalog or just enjoy some of my recent content from this year. And if that's not enough for you, I have a second channel, you lucky dog, where I primarily talk about physical media. I post travel vlogs, spooky vlogs, adoption related content. Yeah, I was adopted. I told you, I came straight out of Satan's womb. And I have a Patreon where, depending on which tier you join, you get a bonus video every single week. And this includes a podcast with my dad. Those episodes are generally over an hour long, so there's tons of bonus stuff over there. But more than anything, I just hope that you're so excited for October. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that I catch you in the next one. Bye!